What's up, YouTube? I have something funky going on with my audio right now. Hopefully, everyone can hear me loud and clear over the stream. Oh, you know what it is? My dumbass. I've got my own stream pulled up on my computer. So there's a little bit of overlap there. My bad. Let's enjoy that song a little bit more. Hope everyone's having a good Friday. I'm drinking a little bit of Hollerhead. It's not bad. I've gotten used to it. It's actually, I kind of like it now. Oh, there's the music again. Oh. A little off right now. But I kind of like the Hollerhead. I enjoy it. I didn't at first. Just the banana flavor. It's kind of that runt banana flavor. So I didn't really, I don't know. It took some getting used to. I've got a poll in the chat here. It's about the main event. Do you think the main event is going to go over or under 4.5 rounds? I can't vote. If I could, I think I'm going to go with under. And I'll tell you why on the show, but yeah, I think I'm going to go with under. If you're just tuning in, I had a little bit of a fuck up at the beginning of this stream. I had my own stream pulled up on YouTube and I couldn't figure out why I was hearing an echo. Pretty silly. Pretty silly. Alright. So let's get into the stream. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Bill. This is KO Bets. On this show, we're going to go through UFC Paris, make our picks and predictions for tomorrow's UFC event. We've got UFC 278 to recap. I'll just give some brief thoughts on that. Let's go to the web here. I mean, so the main event, first of all, let's go back to events. Past. The main event, absolutely crazy, right? Leon Edwards with the late head kick. Absolutely nuts. Paulo Costa against Luke Rockhold. Great fight. Merab, pretty dominant, controlling match against Aldo. Pudilova got the win. Pedro, impressive first round knockout. I mean, so I would say I did pretty good making picks up until, like, Aldo was a bad pick. He just did not have any answers against Merab. And then obviously Usman, like, you don't anticipate that happening. That wasn't ideal for the bet slip with some Usman parlays, but super exciting match for Leon Edwards, super exciting for his fans, himself, the division. I think just to get some parity into the division. Usman's been so dynamic and great and dominant for a while. It's nice to have that, something new at the top of the division. Because we saw Usman, he was starting to beat people multiple times as champion, so. Hey, Crystal. Thanks for letting me know you can hear me. So yeah, the next thing on the schedule, we've got to give an NFT giveaway update. Right now we are at 43 channel subscribers, so we're close to hitting that 50 subscriber mark. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. That's how you're going to qualify to get picked, potentially. I'm going to do a random drawing. Choose someone, one of my subscribers, to receive a UFC strike moment. So how you're going to qualify is just by subscribing to the channel. That's all you got to do. If you want to be sweet and like the video too. That's always helpful. If you like the video, helps out with the algorithm. We could really challenge that algorithm though. If you don't like the stream, you can let me know too. So without further ado, we're gonna get into UFC Paris. We've got flipping through my notes here. We've got 13 fights, I believe, tomorrow to go over. So it's a pretty filled up card. Kind of wasn't looking this way, like this full, a couple weeks ago when I checked, before UFC 278. We have some fighters coming in on short notice to really fill out the card. I'm excited for several of these matchups. I think there's some really good fights that are going to be on this card. Go ahead and share who you're most excited for. I'll share who I'm most excited for when we're reviewing their fight. But to start off the night, we've got Stephanie Egger taking on Aylin Perez. Oh, by the way, UFC Paris, early card. So I'm in Central Time. It starts at 11 a.m. for the prelims, 2 p.m. for the main event. It's a commitment. We're going to be over at a friend's house, though, enjoying their company. And it should be a really nice time. So we've got, in the first fight, Stephanie Egger taking on Aylin Perez. Stephanie Egger is 7-3, 2-2 in the UFC, coming off of a loss to Bueno Silva. Very experienced. Win versus Jessica Rose Clark. That was very impressive. Win versus Shanna Young. Had the loss to Cortez, but is a pretty decent fighter. I think we know that. The win versus Rose Clark, how she just snatched up the armbar, that was impressive. She is a good fighter, for sure the more experienced fighter, even though the records are fairly similar as far as total fights. Aylin's making her debut, and she has been very dominant in her pro career thus far outside the promotion. Her only loss was a DQ. We can pull that up here. But yeah, pretty dominant. Lots of knockouts, as you can see. Had the disqualification for the illegal knees, but has been very impressive. It just, I'm not sure what Samurai Fight House is. It's fair to say questionable level of competition, right? So in this fight, I'm going with Stephanie Egger. I think she could hang with her on the feet. I think that's not going to be where her advantage lies. I think where she can really take advantage of Perez is just making it dirty, grappling, tiring her out, just forcing a little more adversity on Perez than what she's typically used to. Stephanie Egger here, you can see, heavy favorite from Vegas. Makes a lot of sense. It's just a tough debut for Aylin Perez. As far as betting lines, part of me doesn't even want to. I might throw Stephanie Egger into like a round robin, but I don't know. I don't really. It'll be interesting to see how Perez looks. Maybe we could do like an over bet. Like the odds makers, I'm sure, like this one to go the distance. Maybe. Oh, they don't. So what are we thinking? Like Egger might get a submission. Yeah, submission plus 225 or decision plus 225. I'm not like crazy confident Stephanie Egger's just gonna for sure go. I'm confident in her to win. I'm just not crazy confident she's gonna go in here and win this one inside the distance. So I'll probably avoid any sort of prop bet predictions. But if I guess the submission is in play, right? Aylin Perez, I don't know what type of grappling competition she's faced thus far in her professional career, but I guess that's possible. It's just, and they are persistent takedowns from Stephanie Egger. You can see that. Little over 3 per 5-round fight. So going with Stephanie Egger on the money line, maybe including that in like a round robin piece, but probably not anchoring any parlays around Stephanie Egger, especially at minus 250. I might sprinkle a little bit on the submission, just because Perez has ended a lot of her fights inside the distance. Like, how good's her conditioning actually going to be? There's also a little bit of a reach advantage, I think, for Stephanie Egger. So we'll go with her on the money line, round robin piece. Next fight, we've got Khaled Taha taking on Christian Quinones. Taha, heading into this fight, is on a 2-fight losing streak. He's 1-3-1 in the UFC. Powerful puncher. Has faced pretty tough competition. He's taking on Quinones, who's coming in here on short notice for his UFC debut. He's definitely got some wrestling in his back pocket. Probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he looks pretty good and like quick early. It's just on 10-day notice or whatever it is. How good's he actually going to be? Is he going to be able to wrestle with Taha? I don't know. Taha's the heavy favorite. Let's look at the odds here. Oh, it's not that heavy. It's minus 120. Yeah, I just don't like that Quinones is in there on short notice. Like, I think I don't really. What's the takedown defense? 61% only. I don't know. Like, Taha definitely throws hard punches. So if he can catch Christian, I think there's a chance that Christian could get knocked out. Let's look at 2 knockouts in his career. Yeah, so I mean, if he gets caught, it could be tough. I mean, he does have in the last year a 5-round fight experience under his belt. Like, I just wouldn't. It's tough to come in on 10-day notice. I'm rolling with Taha on the money line prediction. If I had to take a stab as to the method of victory, I mean, maybe I'm chasing the KO for just so I can risk a little bit less at plus 330 there. If I'm doing an individual fight bet, yeah, don't love Taha as a parlay piece. I don't even love, just because of the low output, I don't even love, like, is this fight going to go the distance or not? Like, I just kind of am willing to take a stab on the knockout victory for Taha, considering I think he's going to win, and 2 out of Christian's 3 losses are knockouts. So that's what I'm going with. I'm going with Taha. I'm less confident in Taha than I am in betting on Egger. So I wouldn't put Taha in my round robin. Next fight, we've got Benoit Saint Denis taking on Gabriel Miranda. Benoit, he's 1-1 in the UFC. He's on a 1-fight winning streak. Solid jiu-jitsu. If we look at the win by, you're going to see some, ridiculously high submission percentages for method of victory. I mean, Gabriel Miranda, great jiu-jitsu in his own right. I would give like the wrestling advantage to Benoit in this fight. I think if we're looking at style, he's more likely to shoot for that takedown. We haven't seen Miranda in the UFC, but if we go to Sherdog here, look at his, his wins. Lots and lots of first-round victories, right? So I think, lost the 3-round decision. Lost another 3-round decision. I think you can assume this person, Gabriel Miranda, he's most dangerous early. He's going to be going for those submissions. He's going to be pulling guard. Benoit Saint Denis is going to have to stay safe in the matchup. I think I like Benoit Saint Denis to potentially stay safe and maybe get a late round finish of his own. But man, I think more than anything, I'm comfortable with maybe saying this fight's going to end inside the distance. Clearly, right? And just given this guy's gas tank and general approach to fighting, Gabriel Miranda, so Benoit's actually a pretty heavy favorite at minus 295. I wouldn't be mad if you sprinkled Gabriel Miranda there. I wouldn't be mad if you used your brain and were like, if Gabriel Miranda wins, it's going to be early. And you did like Gabriel Miranda under 1.5 rounds or Gabriel Miranda via decision or submission. I wouldn't be mad at that. Damn, so the odds makers do not like this one to go the distance, which I would have to agree with. I think, I think Benoit is I think he's going to prove to be a step up in competition, and he could get that finish for sure. Benoit submission, KO, little ground and pound. I guess that's feasible. That's possible. Interesting. I think as opposed to just choosing Benoit on the money line, I think for my round robin, I'm going to explore this fight does not go the distance. Maybe, the over-under is 1.5. Oh, I can get a little better value on under 2.5 here. Maybe something like that. If I'm looking to place an individual bet, I kind of like this Benoit round 3 or decision. That's interesting. I mean, late round 2 is going to be sweaty. The odds makers like the early finish. Let's look at Benoit and those early. See how many early finishes he's getting. Has 1. Okay, so he definitely has some. He's got the second round finish. Doesn't really... Man. Okay, so maybe not that. I'm not doing that 3-rounder decision. Maybe it's like a same game fight parlay, and we're doing Benoit over a half round submission. Just something stupid, silly like that. But I think I'm going to do inside the distance on my round robin. And if you're not already, I do have my Twitter handle posted, in the... I don't know what side of the screen it's on, to be honest. Well, it's in the bottom left on my screen, but I don't know if this is mirrored or anything like that. I've got my handle there. I will tweet out my picks either this evening or early tomorrow morning. I do like to place my bets ahead of time. I think it's I think it's fun. And then you keep a little in the bank, and you can live bet, you can do single bets. It's fun, but I like to, get my parlays out of the way, kind of anchor specific fighters and in round robins and take it from there. Next fight, we've got Nasruddin Imavov taking on Joaquin Buckley. Nasruddin Imavov, 3-1 in the UFC. He is on a 2-fight winning streak, super well-rounded. The Russian sniper. Why did I use an Australian accent? I don't know. But the Russian sniper. Super well-rounded, durable. I don't know if Nasruddin has been knocked out yet in his career. No, he hasn't. So Joaquin Buckley, we know. So he's been good in the UFC. He had the late round knockout against an opponent. Was that his last opponent? No. Oh, that was Al Hassan. That was looking a little bit shaky from like a performance perspective, in my opinion. Just low volume, low output, but he was able to find the kill shot late. So Joaquin Buckley, big power. He has been very good. I mean, Nasruddin, he's got decent power in his own right, though. I'm going with Nasruddin in this fight. I think Nasruddin could potentially hurt Buckley, but I think the smart approach is like, similar to what Gane should do against Tuivasa. It's just using your speed, touching, not getting touched approach, and not taking too many chances, because Joaquin does carry significant power, right? Win by percentage, you can see it right there, 73% by knockout. So rolling with Nasruddin here. He's the favorite, minus 250. I'd put him in a round robin. I wonder what the odds makers think as far as the fight to go the distance. I kind of like it to go the distance. I mean, so Nasruddin, he's knocked out his last 2 opponents. He's looked really, really good. But Ian Heinich, he's tough. Phil Hawes, that was a competitive fight early. Was doing really well. Jordan Williams. I think everyone hurts Jordan Williams at some point in their fights with him. So, man. Yeah, it's tough for me to say. I'm curious what the audience feels about this one. It's tough to say. There we go. A little more light on my face. Yeah, I'll probably just take Nasruddin on the money line in this one. Maybe if there's like a same fight parlay. I'm just looking for, cheap little points to raise my bet. Like total strikes, most significant strikes, like I think I like Nasruddin a lot for that. And then, yeah, Joaquin just kind of has low output. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad improvement. Minus 105. That's not a bad improvement over minus 150. Might do something like that on the individual fight. Faraz Ziam taking on Michael Figlak. Ziam 2-2 in the UFC on a one-fight losing streak. Has a nice overall approach to fighting. I think still needs to kind of put it together for himself in the octagon. He's taking on Michael Figlak, who brings a lot of pressure. Faraz Ziam, he's more of like, he wants to stand on the outside, kickbox, point strike with you. I think if you're able to break inside, push him against the fence, bring a lot of pressure like Michael Figlak is going to do, I think you have a good chance of wearing on him and beating him. We're going to give the striking advantage to Ziam, but only in like the point striking kind of perspective. I think up against the fence and grappling, you have to favor Michael Figlak. I think power, I would slightly favor Michael Figlak. I'm surprised he's such a heavy favorite, but it kind of makes sense just stylistically who he is, that Michael Figlak is the favorite in this fight. But, I mean, Ziam, his last loss was to McKinney. Like, McKinney's so good. So, I'm rolling with Figlak on the money line, minus 200. As far as the method of victory, maybe Figlak and over makes a little bit of sense, but I'm only doing like over 1.5. I don't think I want to do over 2.5, so that's not a huge improvement over the minus 200 odds. I don't know. Our guy Ziam, he is good. I think he struggles a little bit with the pressure, like when the fight starts to get hard, that's maybe where he's not his best, and that's where Figlak likes to take things. Just stylistically, I think it's a tough fight for Ziam. Abus Magomedov taking on Dustin Stoltz. Dustin Stoltz 1-3 in the UFC. Has tough experience for sure. He is durable. He's a good wrestler. He's shown that, or at least he shoots. He tries to use it. Abus Magomedov, he's making his UFC debut. He's coming in after a long layoff here. 2020. So it's been a little bit of time since he's been in the octagon. Does have good experience in his own right, and he is a very good fighter. You can see, like, if you watch any of his fights, especially some of those finishes, you can see why he is a heavy favorite in this. He's going to hold the stand-up advantage, and he might even have a grappling advantage as well. I think he has a good enough grappling ability to just like not be bothered at all by Stoltz and his ability. If Stoltz wins, it's probably gonna be like just a big punch, that really hurts Magomedov, which is always possible, right, in MMA, but you have to be pretty confident in Magomedov. I like him. Fight props, I'm guessing this one does go the distance, so maybe so they're saying no, but if we're looking at Stoltz, then 2 submission losses. Yeah, G3 and Vieira. I mean, those guys are both like really, really good jiu-jitsu artists. And maybe that's Magomedov, but I kind of like the over. And if Magomedov like just keeps it standing, I don't know if he's going to knock out Stolfus, so maybe I like the plus 200. I think there's some value on that. The decision for Magomedov. Or for the fight parlays, like Magomedov and over a round and a half. That improves your odds. Something like that I like. Yeah, I like that a lot. Sorry, sometimes my watch goes off. Just a notification. Next fight, we've got Charles Jourdain taking on Nathaniel Wood. This is the fight. Let's toast to whoever came up with this fucking idea. This is a great fight. I'm excited to watch it. Charles Jourdain against Shane Burgos. I took Shane Burgos in that fight. Thought he would have a grappling advantage. Thought he was tough enough to hang in there with Charles Jourdain. And Jourdain arguably won and broke Shane Burgos in that third round. I was happy to have the decision, but honestly, terrific performance by Charles Jourdain. Nathaniel Wood, just crazy technical boxing against a tough fighter. Who was that again? That was Charles Rosa. Yeah. Just incredible boxing. Dropped Rosa on several occasions. Just like after that performance and after Jourdain's performance and, you know, what we've seen from Jourdain already, like this fight sets up to be fireworks in my opinion. It's gonna be a tough back and forth contest. I don't know. Like, part of me, I was just so impressed with Nathaniel Wood, but you know, he was fighting at 135. Now he's at 145. I don't think that's like as crazy. Like, I think size is maybe a little bit overrated. Like, reach, obviously there's things you can leverage about your size and reach that you can use to your advantage in a fight, but the same goes kind of both ways. So I understand why Charles Jourdain is the favorite. Man, my heart wants to pick Nathaniel Wood, but I think the smart thing to do as far as betting money is just ride him with Jourdain. Ride in the Jourdain train. Air Jourdain. Terrific nickname, too. And, like, I don't know what we're thinking from this fight. I'm expecting fireworks. I expect someone to probably get hurt in this fight to finish, but you know, there is a respect for obviously the toughness of Jourdain. I think if you like Nathaniel Wood, like maybe you lean more towards that decision result. But man, I just don't know how you. I don't know. And that's okay. So I'm gonna pick Charles Jourdain to win, the favorite to win. I think he's gonna carry the better punching power. He has a terrific gas tank. He can take a punch. We've seen that, right? Like, how many knockout losses does Charles Jourdain have? 0. He can take a punch. So, whereas Nathaniel Wood, like, that's what's, I don't know. There's just something about Nathaniel Wood. I think he's super good, and he looked incredible in that fight against Charles Rosa, but I just think Charles Jourdain is going to be just a little bit of a steep step up in competition, and I think Charles Jourdain's going to win this. I'm rolling with Charles Jourdain on the money line. I'm rolling with Charles Jourdain. Maybe I don't know. I think I'm going to just go money line, like in a round robin bet. Charles Jourdain money lines. For an individual fight bet, we can check and see if there's a same fight parlay I like. Yeah, I mean, for again searching for those cheap little points, that's only minus. It's money line. Plus 115 just to get out of the first. I don't know. Probably just going Jourdain on the money line. Doing what's safe. Trying not to lose, you understand? William Gomez taking on Jarno Aarons. William Gomez making his debut. Good wrestler. Good use of takedown pressure. As far as the stand-up approach, he's more of a counter striker. Aarons in this fight also making his debut. Is tough in his own right. I think if we look at both of these guys, yeah, not a KO loss and not a KO loss. Like, both fighters are pretty tough. I think Gomez is going to be better in the grappling department for sure. So I think that's going to be like his easiest way to victory, his easiest path. Hello? That's a pretty big bummer. So I think I did a majority of the stream without the audio working. So I apologize. If you wouldn't mind, go ahead and you can follow me on Twitter, and I'll obviously give my plays for tomorrow. I was just on the main event here, and without the audio working, fight bet we can as Nathaniel Wood like that. Okay, so it was on Nathaniel Wood. It looks like is where I screwed things up. So I just want to go ahead and circle back and give you all my predictions for the previous fights since I screwed this up. So just to recap, I took Cyril Gane in this fight. Tuivasa. Think if you like him, you're liking the knockout. I took Rob Whittaker in this fight. I think his skill set matches up nicely. I took Alessio De Chirico in this fight. In the next fight, I took Nasrat, although I think it's going to be a closer fight, and if it's going to be a decision, I wouldn't be surprised if Makdessi wins the fight just because of output. So I'm a little bit bummed that that happened. I did see something pop up where I don't want to be on a pity party. Fuck that. Let's go over trending topics. I was talking a little shit with people. No one is talking. Well, I'll reply to these people on my own time. But overall, I think the MMA community is a very inclusive and accepting environment to be a part of. I think it's a fun place to exist and interact with other people. I think when you look at other sports, and I'm gonna just I haven't really collected any thoughts on this, but like, why is there this perception around MMA where it's like, basically what's happening is, people are calling the sport misogynistic and racist, and it's like, I've seen soccer events where like just horrible shit is chanted to an opponent of color, and I've seen, Rapinoe or whoever it is from women's soccer, like, you're saying MMA is bad in comparison to these other sports. Like, look at the pay gaps in other sports. Look at the viewers in other sports. Look at like Laura Sanko, and like, she's an incredible talent who's well respected by the MMA community, and there's a lot of well respected female fighters in this sport who compete on the same cards as the male fighters, who get paid a percentage of pay-per-view if they are a champion or part of the pay-per-view experience. I don't think people dismiss the women participants of MMA like they do in other sports, personally. And I think you just look at like ratings, seriously, look at ratings. Ronda Rousey was one of the biggest stars ever in the UFC. Look at the support of the world that was behind Ronda Rousey. Look at Amanda Nunes, how people perceive her as a fighter. Shevchenko. the respect people showed for Joanna when she retired. Like, there's a ton of respect in the sport. And then you want to say it's got a bad look compared to other sports, like what, football? I don't see a lot of inclusivity in football. I don't see it in any other sport, to be honest. Like, the NBA's trying, I would say, but I don't know. Just a little bit of a rant. Trying to, because sometimes the narratives just get out of control, and it's not like what's actually going on. So let's explore. Let's go over trending topics here. Serena trending. I know she dropped the first set. I'm not sure. I don't watch tennis, so obviously the best female tennis player ever to ever do it. I think she might be retiring after this tournament or match, and incredible athlete, incredible career. Like, there's an example of someone, I just gotta move on. Just like an incredible athlete. OP Live. Oh, that's like officers or something. They trail officers. MAGA is over. I watched Joe Biden's speech last night. I mean, he looked sharp last night. He sounded sharp last night. I think the whole rhetoric and I think he's setting the stage for some just for some disagreements, and I don't know. It was just a little bit divisive, right? So, I mean, you can look at the election results and you can say, I mean, there were just a lot of people that voted for Trump, right? So to say, MAGA is like to basically like wage war against the other political party, that's a bit extreme. By their own definition, like, if you don't agree with the majority of Americans, you're extreme. Their disapproval, I think their approval rating's like 32%, like only 32% of Americans approve the work that this administration has done. So by their own definition, they're just a little bit extreme, and I just think we need to pump the brakes on like how we're treating other people and how we're talking about other people. And I think there's so much more positivity that we can live in than what was portrayed last night in his speech. And I don't think it exists under him. I don't know who it exists under, but I just don't think it exists under him. I think it's impossible, is what I think. Just a little too stupid. Virginia Tech, we've got college football started up again. Oh, Alcantara. I like Sandy Alcantara. I'm amazed at the season he's having. Let's actually check ESPN here. I had some MLB wagers going this evening. Took Toronto with Alex Manoah on the mound. That's looking good. I took Seattle with Luis. I took the Mets. I think I stayed. I'm surprised the Braves are kind of, winning by that margin right now, but I don't think I took them. Let me double check though, because maybe there's a cash out opportunity. I don't think I took the Marlins, but I might have, just because Alcantara was on the mound and they were the underdog. Let's see. So I parlayed the Blue Jays and Mets, both to win by 2 runs or more, $15 to win 47. I did the Marlins in a bet. It was a $10 bet, but it would have been a nice parlay. It looks like. So who's in that? Blue Jays, Mariners, Mets, Marlins. Marlins are messing it up. I mean, there's still a chance, but not a good one. Against the Braves, not a good one. So, alright, we've gone long enough. I messed up the stream a little bit. I appreciate you all hanging out with me. Have a great weekend, everyone. I will talk to you next week on Friday. Maybe we'll be doing an NFT giveaway that day, so subscribe to the channel to qualify. Like the video if you wouldn't mind. Have a great long weekend, safe long weekend, and I'll see you next week. Peace.
attempted extermination of the Jews of World War II, it doesn't even compare on a shadow of the life that has been lost and with abortion since its legalization.